The scriptures this weekend all speak of God's mercy and compassion. In the first reading from the book of Exodus, we heard Moses pleading to God for the chosen people. The chosen people had sinned seriously, and God was about to punish them. But God, in his mercy and compassion, listens to Moses and withholds punishing the people. In the responsorial psalm that we sang and listened to, it was Psalm 51, and here's one of the verses. Have mercy on me, O God, in your goodness. In the greatness of your compassion, wipe out my offense. In the second reading, Paul's letter to Timothy, Paul says, I have been mercifully treated by the Lord. And in the Gospel according to Luke, Jesus tells some parables about a lost sheep, about a lost coin that were found. And Jesus says, there will be rejoicing among the angels of God over one sinner who repents. We love and serve a merciful and compassionate God. And we see evidence of God's love for us all around us if we take the time to notice. Look how much of God's love you and I experience right here in our parish. Our St. Joseph Parish was founded April the 13th, 1949, 61 years ago. And our St. Joseph Parish School opened its doors for the very first time on September the 5th, 1950, 60 years ago. It began with 4 Ursuline sisters. And the first school wing, that's the one-story corridor that runs east and west, wasn't finished yet when school opened. So the 8 grades met in what we now call St. Joseph Hall, our original church. 4 sisters teaching 8 grades. First and second were together, third and fourth were together, fifth and sixth were together, seventh and eighth were together, all in St. Joseph Hall, our original church. We celebrate 60 years, a happy birthday to our school. And we've opened a year of celebration. On Friday, September the 3rd, at 8:30 in the morning, we celebrated Mass here with students, faculty and staff, parents, and many parishioners. Yesterday, September the 11th, was a golf outing at Sweetbriar that many of you participated in and was a great day. A year of celebrating the 60th birthday of our St. Joseph Parish School. St. Joseph Parish School is a gem. St. Joseph Parish School adds value to the lives of our students, to the lives of our parents. And St. Joseph Parish School adds value to the life of our parish. St. Joseph Parish School will continue with everyone's commitment and support. And once again, I pledge my commitment and support. We love and serve a merciful and loving God. And we see evidence of God's love all around us if we take the time to notice. This weekend, we remember the nearly 3,000 people that lost their lives, victims of the terrorist attacks on our country on September the 11th, 2001, 9 years ago yesterday. We pray for all of our police, all of our firefighters, all of those who are first responders. We pray for the men and women that lost their lives. We remember their families and friends and all who love them. And we can ask, where is the mercy and the compassion of God today? I thought perhaps a Charlie Brown story might help us. Charlie Brown is leaning against a tree talking to Lucy. She asks, "What do you think security is, Charlie Brown?" Charlie answers, "Security is sleeping in the back seat of a car when you're a little kid, and you've been somewhere with your mom and dad, and it's night. You don't have to worry about anything. Your mom and dad are in the front seat, and they're doing all the worrying. They take care of everything." Lucy smiles and says, "That's real neat, Charlie Brown." Then Charlie Brown, who never seems to know when to stop, gets a serious look on his face and says, "But it doesn't last. Suddenly you're all grown up, and it can never be that way again. Suddenly it's all over, and you'll never get to sleep in the back seat again. Never." Lucy gets a frightened look on her face and asks, "Never?" And Charlie Brown replies, "Never." As they stand there sensing the terrible loneliness, Lucy reaches over and says, "Hold my hand, Charlie Brown. Hold my hand." Someone continues to write, "It's a bittersweet comic strip that registers so true today. We'll never get to sleep in the back seat anymore. Never. Our old securities have been shattered. War abroad with a difficult enemy. War at home with biological terror stalking our steps. The resurrected fear of nuclear war. Checkpoints, baggage searches, latex gloves, air marshals, long lines. We are learning the uncomfortable stance of always looking over our shoulders. We've suddenly become a nation of Lucys. Hold my hand, Charlie Brown. Hold my hand." Or as we might say today, "Hold my hand, Jesus. Hold my hand." My final story. One day, a very wealthy city man took his pampered son on a trip to the country, supposedly to visit a relative. In actuality, however, what the father had in mind was to show his son the constricted way poor country folk live. They stayed the weekend in a home of a relative who was a very poor and humble farmer. At the end of the trip, as they were en route back home, the father cleared his throat and asked his son, "Well, son, what did you think of that trip?" The son replied thoughtfully, "Very nice, Dad."